Guys, good afternoon. Today is a nice day outside. Look, I'm wearing shorts. That's how you know it's nice. It's like supposed to be 70 today. It's still kind of the morning. It's like 11:30. I am on my 40-minute lunch break, and so I have a lot I want to get done today. I want to install a diesel heater. I want to put the side face on this chair. I want to build my spice rack that's going to be in here, and I would love to do the wall. I don't know if I'm going to get all of that done today. That's a lot. But what I am going to do is take some time right now on this lunch break to get something done. So the easiest thing to get done is to install this side panel thing. So I have this scrap piece of wood. It was actually a piece that I cut wrong for the back door. And it fits for the size of the chair. So I'm gonna nail it in to the frame, and then I have my lovely router tool. So I'm just gonna router out the outline of the chair. Easy as pie. I'm actually super stoked about this. So I'm gonna do this now. She is beautiful. Just needs a little cushion on her, and she's Gucci. I'm so excited. Wow. Today we're installing the diesel heater. I wanted to originally install the diesel heater under this chair. However, underneath the floor here isn't a good spot. So I needed to slide it back a little bit, like a foot. So that means it's gonna go underneath my refrigerator now. So essentially I have to build up my refrigerator about a 6-inch platform to put the diesel heater underneath, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just a minor inconvenience. So now I just have to measure, drill a quick pilot hole underneath. Oh my god, there's a bee. Go, shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Good, okay. So I'm gonna drill a quick pilot hole in the floor just to make sure where I'm putting the diesel heater is gonna work. This is taking way longer than expected. Originally, I wanted it underneath this chair. I realized there's way too many things in the way that I can't screw the hole down there. So then I was like, okay, I'll do it underneath my fridge, but where the hole is and where the hole has to be and working around beams down there, this is too long to fit in my fridge. If I made my fridge an inch further out, it would be fine, which ideally I could change. Realistically, I could change it, except for I already did this. So the chair would have to slide out an inch, and I'd have to add an inch to the chair. That's just too much work. So what I'm gonna do now is there's a 6-inch space before there's a support beam underneath, and I'll show y'all in a minute, that I can put this along the wall, essentially, because it'll be within that 6-inch gap. And so now it's too narrow to go across the fridge in the back and have the hose come out. So I'm gonna have the hose run through the wall into the chair and pop the vent here, which is not really ideal, but it is what it is. So that's what we're gonna have to do now. We're adjusting. It's fine. It's totally fine. Okay, let's start by creating a template. So I've got this face plate that you put down on the floor. Essentially the hole has to be, I just cut a rectangle hole. Some people just do the circular holes. I found it so much easier in the bus to just cut the rectangle, because when I needed to service the diesel heater, I didn't have to, or like change out a thing, I didn't have to like undo it from the inside. Like, it was just easier because I had a whole rectangle to like kind of work with. So I'm going to use some tape and tape out the template, and then tape it on the floor where I need it to go. You can use cardboard. I actually got the tape idea from Jaylena, Leave Her Wild. I watched her diesel video when I was first doing the bus, and it was really helpful to learn from her, and this is her idea, and it worked really well. So I'm just gonna do this again. Now, I don't know if you can kind of like, okay, well, where the holes are, I'm gonna draw a line on the other side because I don't need this whole faceplate cut out, just where the holes are. So that's the hole we're gonna put into the ground. Yay. Okay, now I have my template of the triangle, or rectangle, I'm sorry, oh my god, rectangle, that I want to cut out. So I'm gonna drill a pilot hole, like just right in the middle of that, a small tiny one, just to see where it pops out underneath, to make sure I am good to go all around. So I'm gonna grab my drill and do that. Okay, pilot hole drilled. Let's go check underneath. Let's just pray. We're praying. Pray we're right. Okay. Okay, so it's right here. I'm gonna have to slide it out about an inch. Realistically, if I make that the edge, I'm good, because the wall is right there. So we slide it over about half, well, let's just go an inch to call it good. And we can cut it out. I feel pretty confident in this. Yeah, let's do this, y'all. This is gonna be a lot of work. Ugh. No, it's not. It's actually not terrible. Okay, let's do it. I almost forgot, I bought this insulation tape on my bus build. I saw someone said they just put the insulation tape through the gap and on the wood just to protect it from like heat from the diesel heater. And so I did that. It worked great. I don't know if it's needed or not, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I also did spray paint the exposed metal with some Rust-Oleum. Just to protect it. So I'm gonna put this on and then we'll go underneath. Okay, now that I got the hole in the ground, I like to hook up the components on here. So this is the side that the hot air comes out. This is the side the cold air comes in. And underneath here, we've got some ports that shoot out underneath. Trying to think. Okay. So hopefully this is going to be long enough to run all the way to the back of the van. That would be so great. Okay. Okay, so anyways, we've got our fresh air intake. We've got our exhaust pipe, the exhaust piece. We've got all these little grommet things. This holds the pump. I was gonna say, I also need this thing. Okay, yay. Lots of zip ties and extra pieces. Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna get my tools and then I'm gonna come back to you guys because I'm very underprepared right now and it's a little crazy. I'm back. I'm better. So, I always just want to double check the diagram, make sure I put the right ones the right way. So where the heat is where the exhaust comes out. Heat comes in, exhaust is in the front. It'd be really bad if you hooked these up backwards, you know? Okay, so first things first, heat comes out, or the exhaust comes out in the front where the heat comes in. Fresh air is in the back where the cold air comes in. Makes sense, right? Then fuel line goes down. So I'm gonna use these little grommet thingies and hook this up. Alright guys, I just realized I'm a freaking idiot. I'm trying to be kinder to myself. I forgot to put this on first. So, we're gonna redo all that and fix that because I'm a dummy and I like to do things twice. So, great. Luckily, it's not too much work and the Rust-Oleum paint needs to dry anyways. Okay, here's the situation. My fuel line isn't long enough to go in the back of the van, and even if I ordered a longer one, I would also have to order a new tank because where I would want it would be like right here, but it doesn't fit here because the wheel well. I don't want it this way. I feel like that's so closed off. I would have wanted like a small square tank that could fit right here. Plus my electrical's going over here and I'm not quite sure the setup for that yet. So realistically, it's just not gonna work back here. So then I was like, okay, well my fuel line is long enough to take it to the slider door because this also doesn't fit in the chair the way that I wanted it to, so that's not an option either. So I'm like, okay, let me just run it. Let me set you down. Okay, let me just run the fuel line underneath and I can have this pop out because this is going to be kitchen cabinets here. and just have like a little trap door on the back side wherever this is going to be mounted, or if it mounts this way, I don't really know. But have like a little trap door to be able to put a little gas pump in it. But then I was like, frick, I should have just put the diesel heater over here to begin with, underneath the kitchen cabinet. But it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. I already cut the hole in the floor. So realistically, this cannot be like completely mounted and set up where it's gonna go. I am gonna bring the fuel line in because I have to put the wall in over here before I actually like screw the pump in and all that stuff. But I am gonna get it set up enough to use it this weekend. Okay. I don't feel like doing this anymore. I need to do some research on if the pump should be closer to the tank or the heater. I can't remember. Oh, God. This is so frustrating. I'm gonna pause because I don't feel like doing research on this right now, and I want to make some progress on something else. So I don't even know if I have the effort to go make progress on anything else either. I'm so tired right now. Good morning, guys. It's the morning before work. I've got like an hour before I have to log on. I didn't go work out this morning. My stomach was hurting, so I laid in bed a little bit longer. And now I'm feeling better. So I figured since I didn't go to the gym this morning, I'll go later this evening, that I could get an hour of working on the van. So we're going to try and finish up this diesel heater situation. I was really frustrated yesterday because I just had to think through a lot of things and it wasn't panning out the way that I wanted it to pan out. So it's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's all gonna work out how it's supposed to. So we're gonna work on getting this thing set up. Then we're gonna connect the filter and the pump. I still have to think through. I'm feeling like it's gonna have to be outside, which is okay. I just have to figure out how to run the electrical outside. So in the bus, see, I ran it down and I ran it back up, so it was easy. Actually, you know what? I guess I could do the same exact thing. It just requires punching an extra hole in the van. No, I can't do that. Okay, I'm going to do this first and I'm going to think through it. So first things first, I've got to put a little hole with the drill bit in the bottom of it. Well, not the bottom, but the bottom side. So they say not to put it on the bottom, so like little soot and stuff can't get into it. So I never do it on the bottom. But last time I did it below where their thing was, so right down here. So it's not the bottom, but it's pretty close so we're not wasting gas. all the way, but the bolt will help with that. Put the rubber grommet. Okay. I think that's Gucci. Okay, we're in. Okay, took some work, but I figured out how to do the pump outside. I just had to take off the plate on the diesel heater and disconnect everything I did yesterday to make the hole slightly bigger because there's a little divot for the wire to run, but I cut the hole smaller because I wasn't planning on having it outside. So I just had to cut the hole like an extra 1/4 inch, so that way now the power source for the pump is outside. So I'm gonna work on mounting the pump now, and then we will connect the gas line to it. And then also while I'm down here, I'm going to mount the exhaust pipe and the fresh air intake coming out from underneath the van. So first things first, let's do this. I'm gonna try and get you guys under here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, it took me way longer than I'd like to admit to figure out how to mount the pump, but we got the rubber grommet in here. Now I'm gonna work on hooking up the line to the pump. So let's do that. Okay, we're back and we are actually finishing this now. We are not working on this any longer because I am so over this. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Dee. Okay, so what I did this morning before work and yesterday, we installed the diesel heater into the place. We connected all the fittings. We just mounted the pump underneath. We ran the gas line underneath the van and it's up through the floor here now. We also did the connection fitting for the tank. So what I need to do now, all I have left is to put the filter on, connect the gas line to the tank, and the electrical I can't really do because, well, actually I can hook it up to my Jackery just to make sure it turns on. And then we need to mount the exhaust pipe and the fresh air intake underneath the van. So those are the next kind of steps. So I'm gonna start by doing the filter first because that seems like the easiest, to be honest. All right, so let's do that. Filter and connecting it to the tank. Oh, also, I'm gonna keep this fuel line as long as it is because I'm not necessarily sure where it's gonna go because this is gonna be mounted either like here or here underneath my cabinet, and since I don't have a cabinet and I can't mount it yet, I'm just gonna keep the fuel line as long as possible, just that way so I don't accidentally cut it too short and then later when I'm doing it, it doesn't actually work how I need it to work. So that's the plan. And yeah, let's do it.